Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another podcast episode. These have been really fun to do. I'm glad that it's getting back on the ground because we haven't done, well, it's been a long time since we've done the last series of podcasts. Anyway, so yeah, today we have another guest. I'm going to try to get a guest every week, see how that goes. Um, but yeah, we do have another YouTuber here. He's been doing YouTube a lot more than me. He's a lot more experienced. But yeah, we do have a good friend, Skip Teppins. We will let him join right about now.
Xander, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. Doing great.
Awesome.
You know, excited to see what this is all about. And thanks for having me
Indeed.
on here.
No problem. Trying to get a guest every week. We'll see how that goes. It's been going fine so far. So,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
good. Yeah. How are
I
you
don't know
doing?
if you noticed. Oh, I'm doing well. How about you?
Oh, pretty good. Um,
Awesome.
yeah.
I don't know if you noticed for the thumbnail for this, I put the Matrix, like a picture of it on
Oh, you
the
did.
thumbnail
Yes. Oh,
because
very
I know that's your
good
favorite.
choice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, absolutely. No, it's one of my favorite movies, and I think today we can probably talk about our favorite movies. And since it's Disney Day, we could also talk about our favorite Disney movies.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea. I actually didn't know it was Disney Day.
Yeah, neither did I. I know Star Wars Day is May the 4th, but
That is true. It's not as well known, I guess.
yeah. Why is today Disney Day? Is it like Walt Disney's birthday?
Um, it could be. I'm not sure.
Huh,
Something to do with the Disney company, I'm sure.
interesting.
Yeah. We do have some people in the chat here. We have Brick Allen. He's a frequent, well, not frequent, I should say. He's a very big supporter, I would say.
Awesome. Hey, how's it
Yeah.
going?
And then we have JK. She's been a very good supporter the past few episodes.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, I'm doing well. How about you? I'm gonna do a bit
Oh,
of
this
research.
is quite cool. I mean, yeah. So these are fans of your show and fans of like your channel.
Yeah, I think Brick Allen has been. I think he was one of the first people to subscribe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty
Wow,
sure. I've
very
actually been
cool.
on. Yeah, I've actually been on his show.
Oh,
I
very
think
cool.
once. Yeah, no problem. Let me look up why it's. Let's see. I can't find an exact reason. Oh, it's Disney Plus Day.
Disney
Oh.
Plus. Oh, so wait a minute. So today is just like the streaming platform
Oh, is this the day
coupon
that Disney
day?
Plus launched? That might be
No,
why
that
it's.
could it be?
I don't know.
I,
I, I thought it launched in November, but okay.
yeah, I forget. How long has Disney Plus been a thing? Has it been like a
It's been
couple
about
few
two
years?
years. Yeah,
2 years?
I get since
Okay.
2019. I want to say.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I remember I kind of took Disney Plus for granted, honestly, because we got it for free for a year from Verizon, and like when it first launched. And so I just watched it for The Mandalorian, and that's it. But
Oh
over
yeah.
the years, I've watched a lot more of it.
Oh, it's great. I mean, they've got a ton of different stuff on there, like National Geographic Channel. There's some
Yeah, have
really
you
cool
seen the
stuff
Jeff
there.
Goldblum show?
No, no. You know what? Actually, I think I saw some of that, but I don't think I saw it on Disney Plus. This is like Jeff Goldblum versus the world. He just goes exploring and does stuff.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's
Oh,
so
really?
fun.
Okay.
Like, if you're not a fan of Jeff Goldblum, you probably won't like this.
Well, thankfully, I like Jeff Goldblum. I like his
Same.
style and his vibe.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like, he turns like the most boring things, like jeans, into like the most fun thing ever.
Okay.
It's pretty good. I think my favorite episode, it's probably I think it's the video games one or the dogs one. There's a lot of good
Okay.
ones. But yeah, that's
Interesting.
something I've watched. recently. I finished at least.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love how Jeff Goldblum, at least the characters he plays, I think from the interviews that I've seen, he is kind of like that in real life. Uh,
Yeah, he's very kind of odd,
mhm.
like just kind of random.
Yeah, very independent. It seems very, I guess, free, and that
Yeah,
is
yeah,
a
he's
very
not like
respectable quality.
yeah. I definitely want to meet him someday, like at some point if I can.
Yeah, my
He,
friend, who I've worked with before on some different video projects, um, kind of looks like Jeff Goldblum, and so we had him play in one short film like a Jeff Goldblum impersonator.
that is brilliant.
Yeah, it was
The
really
best
fun.
part
And
the best part would be if you actually got him to see that.
oh my gosh, yeah, that'd be amazing. Well, we were talking about doing like a sequel to it, and he would
Oh boy.
also play some kind of Goldblum adjacent character. And we were planning on doing this. I mean, it was a long shot, and it didn't end up happening. But um,
Oh.
we would have, I don't know, tried to film outside of. I think Jeff Goldblum has a jazz club, so we were gonna like film outside there, and then if he happened to leave the jazz club right then, we would have, hey, you want to be in our movie? And who knows? He has the
That would have been
personality
so
type that
cool.
he might even want to, hop on.
Wow, that's actually a pretty good idea, despite it not being like a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But something I've recently revisited. I don't know if you watched this as a kid, but there was a bunch of animated series in the early 2000s, especially with Disney, and one of them was Kim Possible. I don't know if you've
Uh
heard of that.
huh. I have heard of Kim Possible. I've watched a couple episodes, but not in a long time. Not in a long time.
Same. It's been like, well, I guess before this summer, it would have been at least 10, no, more than that, more than 10 years since I've seen it. But I recently watched like the whole franchise and it was a bit exhausting,
Oh
but
well.
it was just as I remembered it. Like I didn't, I didn't feel disappointed rewatching it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
Nice.
this action comedy, with this teenage redhead foiling villains. I just thought I'd bring that up because I finished that recently.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun series. It has a lot of smart writing and a lot of great
Oh, okay.
action, I thought.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's see. Yeah, yeah, he did a live stream and I was a part of that. I was just showing some of my custom Lego stuff.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
So how is the channel going these days? How is
it's going pretty well. This new podcast, people really like this new series. The last couple episodes have been doing very well.
awesome.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot more movie related stuff, so a lot more like independent content aside from the Lego stuff. So I'm trying to keep it more like a variety.
I hear that. Yeah. Well, that would definitely pull in viewers. Because personally, I love Legos, but I'm not as involved with that. Uh,
Yeah, that makes
and
sense.
and so, but definitely movies would pull me in, especially like you're talking with interesting people, good discussion about like, you know, the great films of different decades or
Yeah.
whatever.
Like it's kind of cool to look at different people and like their taste for films, and even
Mm,
if they don't like movies, like you can tell it's had like an impact on the culture.
definitely. Yeah.
Oh. Huh.
It's
So
Disney
it's like,
Day Plus. Disney Plus Day. Okay, so it's not Disney Day, it's Disney Plus Day.
oh, so it's like new events?
Uh-huh.
I guess new stuff that they're adding, maybe.
It could be. Maybe it's like Disney's Black Friday.
Maybe. But yeah, what do you want to talk about? Like, do you want to talk about like the Disney stuff first, or just
Oh
like,
yeah. Well, yeah. Why don't we start with that, and then, uh, you know, maybe we get into some of our favorite movies, Disney or not.
all right, you can go first. I mean, you're the guest. I'd rather give you all the time.
Well, I was looking through my very favorite films I've ever watched, and there are two on the list that are in the Disney category. One sort of having been acquired by Disney later on. Um, but one purely Disney. And the first one that came out, actually, I'm not sure the order, but Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh my gosh, same.
Yeah, isn't it's just so amazing.
Yes,
It's
I
such a rich world, and
yes, it's not just this cash grab based on a ride.
oh yeah, that's. I mean, it's. I didn't even connect that. Of course, when it came out, I was probably in my early teen years, if not
Same, yeah.
younger. So it was. I didn't really make a connection, but it's kind of interesting that they've done that just based on a ride, although they've turned it into this elaborate story.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But some of the things I think were still from the ride, like the scene where there's these prisoners
Oh yeah,
and they're
the
trying
jail
to get a
scene.
dog to come over with the key.
Oh yeah, that's definitely
Hmm.
from the ride.
Yeah,
I know
I
that they
love that.
pulled some elements from the films into the ride. Like the last time that I went to Disneyland, which was a long time ago, but
Mhm.
the time that I went, they had Davy Jones make a cameo, and then they had
Oh, interesting.
Blackbeard make a cameo as well.
And those are both well, Davy Jones from the
He's from
second
Dead
and
Man.
the third.
Yeah, yeah, and then Blackbeard's from On Stranger Tides, which is the
Gotcha,
fourth one.
gotcha.
So which one
Well,
do you like the most?
definitely it'd be the first one if I had to choose.
Same.
I
It has
think
the most. I feel like it's the most like consistent.
I would agree with that. Yeah, it feels kind of like they kept building up this. I don't even know. It was like so much was going on in the second movie, and then they just added on even more in the third movie.
Oh yeah, the
And I was
third is
thinking,
hard to
like, by
follow.
the time they're in these like in the third movie, they're the two ships are battling and they're in a whirlpool, and I'm thinking they are going through every single boat related trope here, which is, I mean, it was fun, and I think that was the whole thing. It's a fun adventure, so I can't. I mean, I enjoy watching it. I definitely will, but I
Same.
think that Parts of the Caribbean one is just a full film. You know, it's the full
Yeah,
experience.
it feels like an actual story, whereas the other films are just like fun. Here's fun here. Here's some action.
Mhm.
Here's comedy.
Yeah, actually, very much so. Very much so.
Honestly, I feel like the latest one, The Dead Man Tell No Tales, that
Hmm.
one, I watched it in the theater, and I was kind of disappointed.
Oh yeah.
It just didn't feel like Jack was written weird. The Barbosa was back for no reason. There was this new villain. It just
Wow.
didn't feel right. I don't know.
Wow.
It's definitely the worst one, but it has good moments. I think my favorite
Hmm.
moment from the fifth one isn't in the actual film. It's like the end credit scene where Will and Elizabeth are sleeping, and then Will has this nightmare of Davy Jones returning, and it implies that he's somehow back,
Whoa.
and it might not have been a dream. It's weird but cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. I also, this is a very hot take. I love the fourth film. It used to be my favorite, but it went
Well, now
down.
what happened in the fourth film?
Well,
I
basically, Jack was looking for the Fountain of Youth, and Blackbeard pulled
okay.
him into it. And there was mermaids. There was like a new ship, um,
Whoa.
zombie pirates, Angelica, played by Penelope Cruz, who was great.
I may have seen this. I
It
feel
came
like
out in 2011, I think.
okay. Yeah, I might have seen that. Yeah.
It's kind of the one that people don't talk about.
Interesting. But you're a big fan, so why do you think that one, despite it not being kind of like the black sheep of the Parts of the Caribbean family, why do you still like it?
I don't know. I like that it's standalone. Like almost no one returns from the first film except for Gibbs and Barbosa. Pretty much it's just Jack. And
Hmm.
then there's new characters all around. Like Blackbeard was brilliantly played by um Ian McShane. Forgot his name for a minute.
Hmm.
And so that was great. The new ship was cool. Um I don't know. All the elements really were. I just thought it was a really cool story.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I love all the films. I always have, especially the first one, like you
Mhm.
said.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think when it comes to some larger series, my feeling is that, you know, like with Star Wars or something like that, or Lord of the Rings, which are, the Lord of the Rings movies are in my top 10.
They're
That's,
fantastic films. My favorite's The Fellowship of the Ring, the first one.
yeah, I would have, I don't know if I would agree actually. I think, but anyways, the whole, the fact that there's a Hobbit series, that doesn't necessarily like taint. I personally did not care for the Hobbit
I thought they
trilogy.
were okay. I like the first one again the most.
Hmm.
I thought
I
that was
think
the coolest one.
it's just like I generally am kind of, I don't know, like a traditionalist when it comes to movies. Like, okay, this the first three, that's how you do it. That's all you need. Um,
True. That makes sense.
and but so when there's new stuff added on, I think I'm a little bit cynical when I see it because I'm like, well, it was so good. Do you need to add more to this? Like, you have a beautiful cake here, this delicious frosting, um, delicious cake batter, everything. And then, well, how about you put a little ketchup on it? Like, that's just delicious. Well, ketchup's great, but like
Yeah, it's
put it
not
on
a
a hot
cake.
dog on the side, and not on a cake.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that they're like, it's like mixing the ingredients together because you still got the cake, but you just have like a hot dog on the side, which is like, all right, okay, maybe I'll eat that,
Yeah,
but
I can
I
see
don't
what
know
you
if I
mean.
will. If I'm really hungry, I'll watch it. If I'm really hungry, I'll eat that hot dog.
Yeah,
Um, so that's generally my take when it comes to like series that they revisit later on.
that
But
makes
I
a lot
try to keep
of
an
sense.
open mind.
Same. I think a good example for me, if Star Wars didn't exist, the Indiana Jones trilogy would be my favorite series. It's very
Mm.
second. It's very close second place. And so
Oh yeah.
with the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which
Oh
is
yeah.
the
Yeah.
most recent one, that
Mm.
was that's how I feel with like the cake kind of thing you said.
Uh huh.
It's just it's not the same. It's
Yeah.
not. It's just not. It's not what you love. It's just
I think that if you are a big fan of like being in a refrigerator, I feel like, wasn't that a scene in that movie? Like he
yes, it
gets in a
was
refrigerator,
stupid.
gets nuked. Like,
Yeah, like a nuclear bomb. Why? It's so dumb.
hey, he opens the door, walks right out. Yep.
Yeah,
One of
that's the
those
thing
days.
now. Yeah, I hated the aliens thing. I hated the Shia LaBeouf being in it. It's just
Uh
bad.
huh.
And it feels so um like what's the word? Computerized.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It doesn't feel like Indiana Jones. It really doesn't.
Yeah, I love the practical effects in those older movies that
Yes.
they just felt very
This is
real.
a very unpopular opinion, but I love Temple of Doom just as much as the other two.
Temple of Doom. Was that the first Indiana?
No, well, technically yes, but it was the darker one with like the cults and the ritual stuff.
Okay, so yeah, if I remember correctly, just to make sure I'm thinking of the right one, Indiana is like trying to get some crystal, and he's with this woman and this little kid who's a taxi driver.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Is that the
short
one?
round. Yeah, well, instead of
Short
the
round.
crystal, it's the rock, the Sankara stones,
Okay, okay.
which people don't
Yeah,
really know about.
that was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and even that had the ridiculous raft moment in the mountains.
Oh yeah, weren't they were they were weren't they like leaving a plane, or like the plane blew up
Yeah,
or something? And
yeah.
all right, let's just get on the raft. This will
And
work.
then they fall all the way down to the mountain side, and then they like kind of glide down into the river.
Hey, honestly, that makes more sense than the refrigerator being like a
Exactly.
nuke protection. Well, if you have a
Yeah,
refrigerator, you're okay in the event of a nuclear
like you would just be a
crisis.
skeleton or just dust.
Yeah, they open up the refrigerator. It is just like that scene from The Shining with the elevator.
Oh
It's
my
just,
gosh, yes.
well, that's the end of the movie.
Oh yeah. I'm just hoping
Not to be too morbid there.
I'm hoping that Indy 5, which is coming out next year,
Oh,
I'm hoping
really?
that it is just good.
Huh.
Just be good, please.
What would make that good for you? Do you think it would be a shift, or would it be like trying to? What would that be?
Honestly, we haven't gotten a lot of details about it. In fact, we haven't even gotten the title. But
Mm,
I just would like maybe some callbacks to the original, maybe a new story, obviously.
hmm
But haven't maybe they could do not a new artifact, maybe something that is lesser known but still known. Like I
hmm
don't know what they could do, but something. Just not a crystal skull, please. No.
hmm Have you seen the new Matrix movie?
I have
Matrix.
not. I kind of teetered and on it on seeing
hmm
it. I don't know. It
Yeah,
doesn't look that interesting.
I actually think that it wasn't great. Honestly, I feel like it's on par with like the Matrix 2 and 3, except the action is not nearly there, and that's something that makes the Matrix so great. But my point with bringing that up is they took a dramatic shift with that. In it,
Really?
the main guy Neo is older, and it's not like a reboot, but it recognizes that time has passed and that Neo, Thomas Anderson, whatever his name is, has to take a different role now. It's not at
Huh.
all the same kind of what you would think for the traditional. Like, I think with Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, something like that.
Yeah,
He's still Indiana Jones, even though he's
yeah,
like
that didn't bother me.
70.
He felt the same. It's
Uh
just
huh.
everything around him was ruined.
But that was like 10 years ago. So
True.
10 years on top of that, I don't know. I feel like I would if you'd get my butt in the seat in the theater for the Indiana Jones 5 if there was a reveal that listen, he's not going to be doing any Indiana Jones stuff. He's going to be doing like he's just settling into his retirement home. Like he's slowing down. Maybe his kids are doing this stuff and he's like playing the role that his father was to him, you know.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, maybe it wouldn't be as exciting, but it would be a change.
Oh yeah, like it would be like the whole genre would shift. I feel like that is a major risk, and I don't think the studio would do that. But I would commend them doing something totally out of the ordinary like that.
Yeah. I mean, I saw an interview with Harrison Ford. He said he's very excited to play Indy again, but it's going to be the last time. I think that's a good decision.
Hmm.
And he also said this is the most important thing. He said he's very proud of the final film. So
Oh, okay, nice,
whatever it
nice.
is, it's going to be good. Apparently, let's just hope.
Well, that's exciting. Cool,
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
nice.
Yeah. Speaking of the Matrix, I actually haven't seen any of the sequels.
Oh, okay. Well, if you don't like computer effects, you're gonna hate 2 and 3.
I like computer effects. I kind of grew up on them because of the Star Wars prequels. They have
Mm.
a bunch of them in there. But
Oh yeah, but it's similar in quality. Actually, I think a little bit worse at times, um, just because they have these. Really, there's a lot of cool scenes in them, and I can't knock that. Um, but it just is. I think there's a thing with film which is like the mystery box, and like when you tell, like the mystery box is what people are interested in. It's like
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? It's a what's behind this door, Neo? What is the Matrix? That's so
yeah. Like
interesting. That
the
was
idea,
yeah, it's like the idea, it's the mystery, the intrigue. But when you open up the mystery box,
it ruins it.
then well, now you know the secret. You know the punchline. You know the what does this strange thing do? And I think there's just too much of that. Like it's already been revealed at the end
Um,
of Matrix One. He is like
so would you
the
say that
hero.
the first Matrix is the only good one?
Now it's hard to say good because
Hmm.
it's like
Or maybe the
they're
most
all
important
entertaining.
one?
I would say the most important one for sure. It's standalone. Uh, it's definitely the best in terms of just like the pacing of it.
Also,
It's it's a
I
magical
have to
treat.
say, I really like Agent Smith as a
Oh,
villain.
he's the perfect villain.
He's so
Yeah.
good. I wish Hugo Weaving came back for Resurrections. If he
Oh
came
yeah.
back to the new Matrix, I would guarantee I would buy a ticket.
Hmm.
But since he didn't, that kind of turned me off.
Yeah. No, he's not back, and it's a shame.
I don't think he was even asked to be. Oh, wait, I think he was, and he couldn't do it because he had a schedule conflict.
Mm, well, that's a shame.
Yeah. I saw this commercial with him. I think it was like a hospital or something. I forgot what it was called. But he was in the whole Agent Smith getup, and he
Oh,
was,
that's awesome.
and it was amazing. He was making so many references. It was great.
He's
Uh,
just the perfect. What I love about the Matrix is that it's such a like rising up against the authority kind
yeah,
of movie, and Agent Smith plays the authority incarnate so well.
he's
He's
so
just
vile and so,
humorless. Yeah, vile, humorless. He only he hates humanity. He
yeah,
hates, you know, everyone must be the same. It's he's literally a robot.
true.
And
True.
so he's quite he's just the perfect final boss um
Indeed.
in a movie. So I think that Agent Smith is so instrumental in why I love Matrix, why it's my favorite movie.
It's great. I need to watch the sequels. I keep telling myself I'm gonna watch them, and then I never do. I
They're
I
fun.
own them. I should.
Yeah, it's fun. It's not they're not the same kind of, you know, life-changing movies. But there's some honestly there's some extended action sequences
Ooh, I like the
in
sound of that.
in the second Matrix. They're
Oh,
they're like
Reloaded.
yeah, in Reloaded. Really the aesthetic is still there. And that's
Okay, that's good.
you know, I love that early 2000s, late 90s
Yes, I love
um,
that so much.
you know, techno. They've got the cool, you know, trench coats with the sunglasses and the nightclubs.
That is so
Uh,
amazing.
everyone wanted to be a hacker. So I mean I was 7 when Matrix came out.
Oh wow.
So I didn't even see it until way later, but I can only imagine the hype of being, you know, a 20-year-old kind of fed up with your parents, fed up with the government, you know, and then watching this movie, you just you'd watch it back to back. It'd be so great.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Brick Advice, how are you? Sorry, I we talked about a lot of things so far.
Yeah, what do we tackle? We talked about
We did,
Indiana Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean, The
yeah,
Matrix,
Matrix.
sequels in general.
I think we could, um, I think we can sprinkle the Disney stuff throughout this.
Okay, cool.
Do you have like another? I know you said you had another favorite
Oh
Disney.
yeah, yeah. The Incredibles.
Oh my gosh, same. That's my
Yeah.
favorite Pixar film.
Oh really? Yeah, that's definitely my favorite Pixar film. It's
I
just
actually,
so
you know
good.
what's cool? I actually recently bought The Incredibles 2,
Okay.
and that's a great film
No,
if
I
you
loved
haven't
it.
seen it.
Yeah, I love the. I think what made The Incredibles so good for me is the family dynamic, and that's still
Uh,
there
It's
in
so
Incredibles
genuine,
too.
like it's heartfelt.
Hmm.
And I love the action. The villain was great.
Oh yeah, totally.
And it was kind of cool. Like in the first Incredibles, it's all about Bob Parr, Mr. Incredible, his story to like
Hmm.
protect his family.
Mm.
And in the sequel, it's all about Elastigirl, like her struggles.
Yeah, yeah,
I thought
yeah.
that was really cool.
It's just so good because it's not just for like you could watch that at any age and really
Exactly.
appreciate it.
And it has like some mature moments, especially the first one. But it's
Hmm.
like it's also can be for kids.
Hmm.
Um, and the second one expands on that as well.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I mean it's it's so fun.
The world building, the whole look of the world too.
It's so funny too. I mean
Yeah,
the scenes, every single scene in The Incredibles is brilliant. And I'm thinking
exactly.
of
I'm
one
never
scene in
bored
The Incredibles 2
whenever.
with where she's he tries to repair the damage to his daughter Violet. And so he takes her to the restaurant where her
Oh
crush is
yes,
like a waiter. Oh gosh, it's like the
That's a
perfect
great
dad.
scene.
It's the dad move of the century.
Yes, that's
Oh,
totally what a dad would do.
yeah, yeah.
And I
It,
love that everyone gets like more to do. And
mm,
the second one, sorry, I've seen the second one recently, so I'm like
oh yeah,
mostly on that one. But I love the idea of like superheroes being put into like not retirement, but like being forced into hiding.
yeah, yeah,
It's all
yeah.
because this one fanboy made these killer robots that are killing superheroes.
Mhm. Yeah.
I love that. And I also love the Underminer. He's great.
Oh yeah. He's that classic voice actor from all the Pixar movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
If they make an Incredibles 3, I will be there.
Mm. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'll be there too. So
I
good.
don't know if they will though.
Yeah, I wonder what it could be about. I mean, this one was about. I mean, maybe they could do it like Violet goes off to college because that's another huge. Because it's all about family.
Yeah.
Behind the thing, it's about the father who wants to relive the glory days and perhaps at the expense of being honest with his wife, and then the next
Oh
one
yeah,
is
that whole argument scene has become a meme.
which one? The
The one where he first comes home and he eats the chocolate cake,
oh,
and then she turns around and
oh
he's
yeah,
like, "Oh no."
yeah, absolutely.
I love that movie. I've probably seen it like 20 times at this point.
No, it's super good.
It really is. I wish I could see it in the theater. That experience would be
Oh
awesome.
yeah, yeah. Well, I saw Incredibles 2 in the theaters. That was really great.
Same. That was great. People say that film was terrible. No, it was
No,
amazing.
no, it definitely wasn't terrible. I actually thought the last. I think why Incredibles 2 wasn't my favorite is the finale with the. I think there was like no real final boss feeling. It didn't have that kind of.
Yeah, it was kind of just like the boat was like gonna crash into the city and they had to stop it.
Yeah, I think when you can put a face to the final antagonist, the greater, the antagonist of the film, it's better. And so I think when it's like something like Man versus Nature, it's not quite as hard hitting.
Yeah, like in the first film, it was Syndrome who was like the main villain, but they had to defeat the Omnidroid as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So there was like two main villains, kind of.
Hmm.
But with the second one, it's kind of like, they're there on the boat.
Hmm.
But I also really like the Screenslaver. I don't know if you remember the monologue scene where,
I
where
think I do.
Elastigirl is like tracking the Screenslaver down and he has this brilliant monologue.
Hmm. I think I do remember that. Oh yeah, that was great. That
Yeah.
was really
I like
good.
the look of the Screenslaver up until he got revealed. Then it
Oh yeah.
kind of wasn't that intimidating.
Yeah, that's that mystery box thing.
Yeah,
As soon as you can put a face to what's underneath the mask, it's not as scary.
true. But I still like the villain. I still like what they did. I'm not going to spoil it, but
Oh yeah. Oh, really, really good.
it was cool. I want to talk about I have loved a lot of Disney. I've seen a lot, especially the older movies. But I'm going to just mention three of my favorite franchises, I think.
Okay.
So let's see. If I can remember let's see. My seventh, it might be seventh. Yeah, sorry. My seventh favorite movie is Tron, the original.
Interesting. You know,
Yeah,
I actually have watched. So this is a hot take, I guess. Compared to this, what you're saying is, um, I hated Tron.
really. I
I
can
did
see
not like. I watched 10 minutes of it, and I was not feeling it. Turned it
it's a
off.
very hard movie to get into
Okay.
because it's a lot of computer jargon and
Hmm.
90s effects
I
and
think it was the '90s effects. I was just like, man, I can't do this right now.
or I
But
guess
if
80s
I could
effects.
get past that, or yeah, maybe even '80s computer effects, which is just like
They're not
very rudimentary.
they're very dated, let's say.
Mm,
I thought the story was cool. Like the digital people were like these lesser beings and they were kind of answering to the users who were like their programmers. And it was
mm,
almost like this biblical kind of thing where they're
wow,
almost like gods.
interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. The villains were really neat, especially the Master Control program. Very
Mm.
intimidating. It wanted to take over like the Pentagon and the
Oh,
Kremlin and stuff. I thought that was cool.
very cool.
I thought Jeff Bridges did a great job as the main character, Kevin Flynn.
Okay.
And he was trying to like protect the system, and then Tron ended up defeating the villain in the end. I just think it's a great film. It's just very outdated.
Mm. I'll have to give it another chance and kind
Perhaps.
of look past the 80s effects and see what were they going for here.
It's a good story if you can get into it. It's kind of um for it's of its time, but it's a good story, I think.
Okay.
I
Cool.
think the sequel is a little bit better in that department. If you're looking for a stronger film to actually watch, Tron Legacy is probably the better film because it's not
Mm.
as outdated.
Okay.
But yeah, I love the two Tron films. I like the Tron franchise in general. That's like one of my favorite Disney franchises.
Mm. Interesting.
And I'm gonna piggyback off of yours. Technically, the film that really got me into Disney was Pirates of the Caribbean one,
Oh yeah.
which I've watched again up to 20 times at this point.
Yeah.
It's so
Seriously,
rewatchable.
it really is. It's like there's a wonderful warmth in that movie, even though there are these really nasty pirates. There's just
Yeah,
it's
you can tell that
fun.
there's
It's
like this like heart. There's heart in it. It's not just
Mhm.
soulless,
Oh
you know,
yeah,
picture. And Jack
absolutely.
Sparrow, oh my gosh, what a
No,
character!
yeah, he's the character of the decade, man.
My word. I love everything about that film. I mean, I love the entire franchise. That's like probably my technical favorite Disney franchise is the Pirates one. That's the one that really got me into Disney.
Hmm.
But yeah, even the fifth one I like, which is not great, but
Uh-huh.
I can acknowledge it.
Okay.
I'd say this one's probably going to be the most surprising. Um, the Tangled franchise.
I haven't seen Tangled.
What?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
haven't?
I have not.
Really? Is
Is it
it
just the
like
one film?
well, they have the one film, then they have a series which is like 2D animated,
Okay.
and then they have like a 6 minute short film that's like the end, kind of like supposed to be the end of it.
Hmm.
And it's a great series. You should just watch the movie. The movie is everyone loves it.
It's this. So it's not Pixar. It's like a
No,
Disney
it's
animated.
traditional Disney.
Okay. Okay.
It came out in 2010.
Interesting. I'm seeing Brick Advice hated Tangled.
What? Okay, I can respect that. I can definitely respect that.
It's a lot of thumbs down. I didn't even know
Wow, that's like
how you get all
five
that
thumbs.
extra limbs just to express your hate.
Wow, I can kind of understand it. I walked into Tangled. I thought it was going to be some little girl's film, but it
Hmm.
turned out to be really smart and like
Hmm.
really fun action, great emotional scenes, amazing music. Oh my
Wow.
word. The music, the whole soundtrack is like phenomenal,
Okay.
in my opinion, of course.
I'll probably see that one of these days because that's like a
It's a
classic
You'll be
new princess
surprised
movie.
how well it's written. It's
Hmm.
got a lot of surprises too. Um, it's a great film. It's my 11th favorite movie, I believe.
Okay.
I think, yeah. So yeah, I have Pirates. Let's see, Pirates is on the lower end only because I have a lot of other ones like Pirates 1. I'd say it's probably number 13, 14, somewhere in there. It's kind of all
Gotcha.
over the place, but
Yeah, I have my I use Letterboxd, which is that website, and looking at all of my 5-star rated films here. But even within 5 stars, you could almost like say that some are like better than others, or
yeah,
personally your favorites.
for sure. Oh, okay, that's fun. I mean, if you have Disney Plus, you can see it.
Yeah, I think I might do that.
Nice. The series is surprisingly well done. It actually gets really dark.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
It's a great story. It's actually based on the fairy tale Rapunzel, the
Oh
movie.
yeah, definitely.
The fairy tale is really dark. It's a lot of dark.
Yeah, it's funny how this fairy tales were like quite insane. Like when you like, wow, this is the kids end up just getting eaten. The end.
Yeah,
Like,
that's like
oh,
really disturbing. And it was for kids with quotes.
oh yeah, yeah. Well,
Nice.
it's kind of like to keep the people from, I don't know, trusting old women who give them candy.
Oh yeah, that's like definitely a lesson right there.
Hmm.
Love and Thunder, I loved it. People don't like it, but I thought it was great.
Okay.
It's not as good as Ragnarok, but it's close.
I've heard excellent things about Ragnarok. I haven't seen hardly any the Marvel films.
There, I would probably recommend Iron Man 1, The Avengers 1, Guardians 1, a lot of 1,
Hmm.
um, Ant-Man, and probably Ragnarok. Those are like the 5 I would recommend.
Okay.
Yeah. I am doing very well. Thank you for asking. Nice. Oh yeah, I would recommend No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh, okay. No Way
Well,
Home.
it kind of I don't want to spoil anything, but it kind of requires you watch the other Spider-Man movies.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay.
Um, yeah. But anyway, uh, I know The Matrix is your favorite. What would be your second favorite?
This is a film that came out, I think, 2003. It's
Okay.
called Lost in Translation.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's
I haven't seen it though.
directed by Sofia Coppola. Yeah, it's so interesting because it doesn't follow like there's no bad guy really. It's
Okay,
just
that's
kind
interesting.
it's so chill. Yeah, it's I think I like it because it really captures a unique emotion really well. Um,
Is it like the
and
Truman Show kind of?
not at all. No.
Oh,
I do love the Truman Show. That's definitely up there.
I know that was one of your favorites that you said.
Yeah. Let's see. How do you even describe it? It's kind of like uh it's a lot of little not even that. It's kind of the story about two lonely people who
Oh,
become friends in a
huh,
place where that's it. And they're never going to see each other again. So it's about this little short time period.
huh. I definitely heard of it. I know what you're talking about. I've never seen it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Is
it's
it
just everything about it. It's just really pleasant. It's not like it's super aesthetic. It's pretty, but it's everything
is it just like
is.
positive?
Say again.
Is it positive?
It is at times. I
I
think it's
thought,
just kind of like it's nice to see this friendship that they have, that the main characters have. They very much like not just in the fact that they're the only two like English speaking people in a foreign country where they, you know, don't really have anybody else, but in their own lives they feel like they're not understood. And so when they encounter two people, or rather, when these two people encounter each other, they finally feel understood, and like
huh.
they get along really well. It's I think that's the best way to describe it.
Okay. Would you say there's like any like risque elements?
There is actually, yeah, there's a scene, but as soon as the scene begins, the two main characters are like, "Yeah, let's get out of here," and and it becomes kind of a joke almost because it's so out of place.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I think I might see that. Is it like on Netflix?
I'm not sure where it's on. I purchased it on YouTube because I just adore it.
Hmm.
Um, I think, yeah, it's an R-rated film, but it's
Okay.
not really gratuitous except for that one scene.
All right. I might watch it. I'll see if I can. We have
Mhm.
Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
It could
It
be on
might
there.
be on there. Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure.
You may have to pay for it. I don't know.
Mhm. Well, how about you? What are your favorite movies?
Well, I'm kind of cheating here. If I had to pick two trilogies, kind of cheating here. Um, the first would be the Star Wars trilogy, the original films,
Mm, those
and then
three?
yeah, and then the second would be the Indiana Jones trilogy. So those two are like night and day for me.
Totally.
If
Yeah.
Star Wars didn't exist, the indie films would take the place. But um, yeah, those six movies, I guess, would be
I feel
like
like those
my
have a really good energy to them of like that kind of renegade group or single person taking on some big bad, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
empire.
Like in the indie films, it's like the Nazis and it's like this evil cult. In the
Hmm.
Star Wars films, it's obviously the Empire, and they're this
Yeah.
big evil force that's governing the galaxy.
Yeah. Yeah.
These small people are trying to like rebel against them. It's
Yeah.
almost like they're not going to win.
Hmm. And that's what makes it so much more amazing, you know, when they do at the end.
When I first saw Star Wars, well, I think I saw the prequel films first.
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't really know what to think. Like I
Mm.
thought it was just really strange, really weird, and just I don't know. For a long time, I didn't watch the originals, but we got them at some point, and then
Hmm.
I watched those, and I liked those a little bit more. And so, over the years, I kind of flipped between which trilogy do I like more? Do I like the prequels or do I like the originals? I
Hmm.
ultimately decided the originals are probably the best ones.
I agree.
I mean, I like the story, I like the characters, the action's good, the darkness is good with Empire. Um, and like the finales, all the films are good. Um, even Return of the Jedi, I think is the weakest of the three, but it's only because the other two are so good that it kind of overshadows the Return of the Jedi. Um, but it's still an amazing film. Great finale.
Hmm.
Um, Unfortunately, when Disney bought Star Wars, they kind of half ruined it, half made it better. Like I guess with the
How so?
Clone Wars, they brought that back recently, and that was awesome. And then they made Rogue One, which was another awesome thing.
Hmm.
But then I'm sure you've heard the disaster that was the sequel trilogy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen those.
Honestly, I really like The Force Awakens, but that's about it of the new trilogy.
Hmm.
I don't know what you feel about those, but
Yeah, definitely. It felt to me the same category
it
as like
feels
The
kind of like
Hobbit. Like
it feels very unnecessary, like
totally unnecessary.
nostalgia
Yeah.
nostalgia done wrong,
Yeah.
especially with the last two films.
Yeah. It's like I'm full of cake still. I don't need the hot dog. I don't need the
Yeah,
ketchup. You know?
exactly.
Thank you,
When I
but
saw
no.
the Force Awakens, I was really hyped for what was next, and honestly, I was disappointed with the
Mm.
last two films. So, especially The Rise of Skywalker, that's the worst one, in my opinion. The worst Star Wars film to ever exist is that one.
Is that the episode 9?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
They brought the Emperor back for no reason. They killed off Snoke. They made Rey into like this overpowered woman, and they she kissed Kylo Ren. It was just weird.
Uh-huh.
It was not good. But yeah, um, the original films are the best. The prequel films, I grew up on those, so those are
Yeah, I'm biased the same way. Like
pretty good.
I wonder objectively what I would think of the prequel films if I saw them with a friend, like a blank slate. But I don't know. I like them. I enjoy them. Even enjoyed Jar Jar Binks. It's like everybody
Honestly,
hates this
the
guy, but it's kind of
the
fun.
worst, the Phantom Menace is an amazing movie, but Jar Jar brings it down a little bit. But he doesn't ruin it, I guess.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Phantom Menace. I mean, what's the
People
guy's
say
name?
people say it's like really boring. It's not exciting, but it actually is.
Yeah, I did enjoy that.
I think Qui-Gon Jinn, played by Liam Neeson, he's like my favorite Jedi in all
Oh
of Star
yeah,
Wars.
he was great. He was totally
Yes.
awesome.
Also, I did think that the Kenobi show and The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett redeemed the sequel films for me.
So those each of those is a series.
Yeah. So Kenobi is in kind of in the middle of like, I think it's A New Hope and Revenge of the Sith. So it's after Revenge of the Sith.
It's so crazy. I mean, I'm aware of the Mandalorian, and I keep hearing stuff about. I haven't seen any series of Star
They
Wars.
they are great.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something new and yet it has original stuff, or no, not original, it has familiar elements.
Hmm.
Uh, those three series are amazing, especially The Mandalorian. That brought people back.
Okay.
It's brilliant, especially all the new characters and stuff.
Hmm.
I think the Book of Boba Fett is the weakest of the three, but it's still a good series. It's just not what Boba Fett is normally categorized as, let's say. But it's still a good series. I enjoyed it.
Hmm.
Honestly, anything that calls back to the prequels is good in my book. Because I watched those first.
Darth Maul. That was who I was thinking of. Yeah, I loved that character.
Darth Maul was amazing. If you love Darth Maul, you should watch the Clone Wars. He comes back with a vengeance,
Oh yeah.
and it
Okay.
is absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, I
I
love
think he,
the design of that character. It's just so
yeah, I
evil
even
looking.
have his double lightsaber, um, which I got from Disneyland a long time ago. But I love
Nice.
the double blades. I think it's so cool.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, his backstory is really interesting too.
Interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, those I would say the Indie trilogy and the original Star Wars trilogy. Those are like my go-to favorite trilogies.
Hmm.
Yeah. I might as well name my other three. I love the Gremlins films, both of them.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
They're great. Um, I'd say the Back to the Future trilogy and the Ghostbusters duology.
So you're definitely like an '80s guy. Like you enjoy the '80s films.
The 80s films, I don't know. I guess we had a lot of 80s films as like on DVD when I was a kid. So
Okay.
that like a lot of the options were like older films.
Nice.
So I love the different stories.
I love the there's something to the way that things were filmed back in
Yeah,
the day, like the camera
yeah, it's like
itself.
old quality kind of.
Yeah, like that's nice. You know, I
It's,
think
it feels nostalgic to me, even though I never grew up in that time.
for sure. Well, I think it probably is still because I mean, like your parents must have shown you their favorite '80s films, and there's something nice about that old style of filming. And the same way I watched is this musical Singing in the Rain.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Um, and there's another like those old classics like It's a Wonderful Life or White
Yeah,
Christmas. They're so wonderful, warm films, and I think it's that old way that people used to speak, the camera, and I think the style of filming, uh, it captures something that's not just like from our childhoods, but like the childhood of the nation. You know.
yeah, exactly. Like I feel like 80s, 90s, even 70s films, they tend to bring people together more or
Mm,
less. And like the
yeah,
films now are just kind of schlock for the most part.
yeah. I definitely am much more skeptical of stuff that comes out now because I'm just like looking at the corporate elements of it. Like,
It
well,
seems like
do they
money
even
grab.
care? Yeah, it's like money grabbing. Like, do we need this? Like, we have
Probably
so
not.
much already,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
yeah, and I usually don't get into franchises as much. Like, I mean, I was hype about the Matrix 4 coming out, but I was like, I'm not gonna see it the day it comes out. I'm not. I'm gonna go in with a healthy degree of skepticism.
Same. I would say you mentioned The Matrix, right?
Mhm.
That's a 90s franchise, right?
Well, 99, and
Oh,
so early 2000s.
yeah. Well, I would say one of the most underrated trilogies, again, another trilogy, sorry to bring it up. Um, but the Men in Black trilogy,
Oh yeah,
that is honestly one of the coolest series of movies that I've seen.
interesting. Yeah, I enjoyed them. Um,
Honestly, this is the biggest hot take I think I'll say on this channel
okay.
is that Men in Black 2, I prefer it over all of them, even the new one.
Hmm.
I don't know. I just watched it a lot as a kid and I loved it and I still love it.
I think I've only seen the original Men in Black, and there was a semi-recent one which had Josh Brolin and
Oh
Will
yeah,
Smith.
that was Men in Black 3.
Okay, that was three. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did see two.
Oh, dang. Well, if you ever visit, we could probably watch the Men in Black 2. We have it on DVD.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a great film. It's got a talking pug. It's got Patrick Warburton. It's got a great villain. Um, I won't
Interesting.
spoil too much, but
Okay. What do
yeah.
you think of all the kinds of films besides like the '80s? Connection between most of them.
Like
Um,
what do you mean?
like for all the films that you would rank so highly, what do you think is like a connecting feature of them?
Um, hmm.
I know,
I guess maybe the style of how it was filmed. Maybe how many times that I watched it as a kid.
sure,
I guess maybe the story, characters. Probably the characters. That's probably the best like connecting thing between all of them.
gotcha.
Honestly, I'm gonna name another hot take. I like Harrison Ford better as Indiana Jones than as Han Solo.
Mm,
I
okay.
just feel like he fits that part naturally, or more naturally, I'd say.
Hmm.
I don't know. That's just what I feel.
I, yeah, I would say the differences between those characters, despite the, besides the setting and the technology, is that Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones he's like an educated character. He's a
Yeah, so
professor.
you're learning along with him.
Hmm. I like that. Definitely, I could see that. He's not just like tired of. I don't even know what he's like a retired bounty hunter in.
Yeah, like a scoundrel kind of character.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like a
absolutely.
mercenary.
He was a smuggler in the Star
Yeah,
Wars
true. And
universe.
he slowly became a good person because of Leia and Luke,
Hmm. Hmm.
which
Hmm.
I loved.
Yeah, I like that type of character a lot.
Same. I think a lot of my favorite movie characters are just heroes, or like maybe like reluctant heroes,
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
like Marty McFly, for example.
Oh yeah.
He's not like he doesn't really want to go back, in the past, but he
Hmm.
has to get his parents back together, or else he won't exist.
Yeah. Oh man, that was a classic movie.
Oh my gosh, I love all three, but the first one's probably my favorite.
Hmm.
Although the second one is amazing. They're all great.
Yeah, I love that. It's just such a classic film. I mean, imagine going back in time to help your dad out. It's like a
Such a
reversal of
like
roles. It's uh, so fun.
yeah. And also, I did want to call back to Jack Sparrow. He's another example of someone who's not really a hero. He's
Mhm.
just someone in it for the rum or the adventure, the freedom, and he gets pulled into this adventure with these two lovers and this
Yeah,
old enemy, and I, it's just so brilliant.
yeah. Oh,
I
that.
think this is something that Disney does really well. Is they take the hero, right? Like they make someone a hero, but like I don't know how to explain it. Like they're slow to becoming a hero.
Yeah, I see that. I love. I think that's something that's so important in stories. Is starting with someone who's relatable. He's just like us, or she's just like us, and
Yeah,
they become something so much greater. I mean, that's I think the hero's journey. It's not just instant snap of the finger. They're suddenly some amazing Jedi or some amazing warrior.
yeah.
It takes time.
They work up to their strengths.
Yeah, they got to meet a Yoda.
Yeah. Yep. Indeed.
Well, Xander, I think I've got to get going.
All right.
But
Well, we can.
this is really fun.
Yeah, it's been great. Would you like to return at some point?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely have me back on.
All right. I think I'm gonna have 5 more episodes with other guests, and I think after that we can probably make another episode.
I'll have to check my my plans. But
Okay.
as far as I can tell, that sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining. Any last words you want to say?
I guess everybody have a great day.
Yeah, check
Subscribe.
out his channel.
Oh yeah, definitely check out my channel. I do short films, sketches, some serious stuff. Mostly it's satirical or comedic. Um, but yeah, definitely subscribe. Also check
Yeah, if you
out
like,
Xanderland Studios. Give
yeah,
him a
it's
subscription.
getting better. Content is getting definitely better.
Yeah, oh, that's exciting, man. Seeing your channel grow. Like, I'm super happy for you, and
Thank you.
it's gonna be huge, I'm sure, in like a year.
It probably will. Let's be honest. But I thank you so much for joining.
Absolutely, man.
Indeed, I'm talking to Brick Advice. Well, you have a great rest of your day. Thanks
Yeah,
again,
thank you.
and
All
we'll
right, see
have
you,
to
Xander.
return.
Bye.
See you later. See you, everyone. Thanks for watching.